This is Ajay Anand and welcome to science classes from excelup.com. In this video you will learn the solution of NCERT exercise questions from the chapter Control and Coordination from class 10th science. Question 1 is, which of the following is a plant hormone? Options are A. Insulin, B. Thyroxine, C. Estrogen, and D. Cytokinin. The answer is D. Cytokinin, and rest of them they are the hormones from animals. Question 2. The gap between two neurons is called, the options are A. Dendrite, B. Synapse, C. Axon, and D. Impulse. So impulse, it's not a part of neuron, but rather it's an action, and the answer is B. Synapse. Question 3 is, the brain is responsible for A. Thinking, B. Regulating the heartbeat, C. Balancing the body, and D. All of the above. So the clear answer is all of the above, because brain does everything, controls everything, every action in our body. Question number 4. What is the function of receptors in our body? Think of situations where receptors do not work properly. What problems are likely to arise? So first of all, function of receptors. Receptors pick signals from external stimuli and send them to the brain. So you can take examples of olfactory receptors, or say photoreceptors, or tactile receptors. They are in a skin, they give us sense of touch. Olfactory receptors, they give us sense of smell, and they are present in our nose. So let us take example when olfactory receptors, they do not work. So if somebody is suffering from common cold, so what happens? The olfactory receptors, they are unable to pick signals from external stimuli, and that is why we do not get sense of a smell when we suffer from common cold. And because of lack of sense of smell, we do not even get the taste of a food, because taste is a complex thing. It involves sense of smell, sense of touch, and sense of taste as well. Okay, now question 5 is draw the structure of neuron and explain its function. So these are the diagrams. This is a neuron, this is a neuron. A neuron has two main parts. There is a cell body, that is called cyton, and there is a tail. The tail is called axon. The cell body appears like star shaped or hydra headed, you can say, and there are numerous hair like growths on the cell body. They are called dendrites. At the end of axon, you will get more hair like structures, and they are called axon terminal. So this is the structure. Now let us see how does a neuron function. The neurotransmitters, they are picked by dendrites, and after that neurotransmitters, they travel through the cell body, then they move through the axon, and finally they are released at the axon terminal. And along with the neurotransmitters, the signals, they travel. The gap between two neurons is called a synapse. So whatever neurotransmitters are released here, the red dots, they are neurotransmitters, they are picked by the dendrites of next neuron, and that is how the nerve signals, they travel from one neuron to the next neuron and so on, and finally it reaches the target organ, say this is a hand, this can be a target organ. So once the hand gets message through neurotransmitters, it acts accordingly. So that is how the neuron carries out transmission of nerve signals. How does phototropism occur in plants? This diagram is showing a plant. What happens? The phototropism is the growth of plant in response to sunlight, and in stems we witness positive phototropic movement. So what happens when sunlight reaches a particular point in the stem? The auxin, which is a plant hormone, it moves away from the sunlight, that is towards the region which is in shade. And once auxin moves in the shaded area, it promotes cell division. So cells of the area in shade, they divide faster than the cells of the area which are in light. And because of this, what happens here, a larger number of cells is formed compared to this region, and that is why the stem, it bends towards the light. And this is the final result, that the stem now it has bent towards the sunlight, and that is how positive phototropism occurs in plants. Question 7. Which signals will get disrupted in case of spinal injury? The answer is that the nerves which come out of the spinal cord, they go to various organs which are below the neck, and these nerves, since they go to the periphery of the body, they are called peripheral nerves. So some nerves may be going towards the upper arm, then some nerves they go towards the lower limbs, some of them they will go towards internal organs. So it depends on the site of injury. So for example, if a person he suffers with injury at the lowermost portion of the spinal cord, then what will happen? The wiring or the nerve cord or the supply to the lower limb, it will get affected, and because of this injury, the person may suffer from paralysis in the lower limbs or lack of movement in the lower limbs. Question number 8. How does chemical coordination occur in plants? The answer is that chemical coordination in plants, they take through special chemicals, and they are called plant hormones. There are two types of plant hormones. One type, it promotes growth, and another type inhibits growth. So the hormones which are promoters of growth are auxin and cytokinin. So they are present in those areas where more cell division is required. Say for example, in flower buds or in buds of leaf, we can grow to produce new leaves. Then the inhibitors, they are present in older parts of the plants. So for example, the leaves which are about to be shed from the plants, they contain lot of abscisic acid, so that the leaves can fall off from the plants, or a ripe fruit, it can also fall from the plant because of the action of abscisic acid or gibberellin. So that is how plant hormones they work. Question 9. What is the need for a system of control and coordination in an organism? The answer is very simple. For proper functioning of organs and for proper coordination of working of different organs. So you can take example of a simple act like walking. Say this figure, it is showing a trapeze artist who is trying to walk on the rope. It is called the tightrope walking also in literal meaning. So what happens while this guy is walking, trying to walk across the rope, he needs to balance his body. Even while we are walking on the road, we need to have proper balance in our gait. because if you will try to walk with your eyes shut, you won't be able to walk in a straight line, because your eyes they need to coordinate with the movement of your legs. So if you are awake wide with your eyes open wide, then only you are able to walk properly and in a straight line. So this simple act, it shows that lot of coordination is required between the functioning of legs, the functioning of eyes, and the functioning of brain, so that we can walk properly. Question 10. How are involuntary actions and reflex actions different from each other? Involuntary actions, they are controlled at the level of brain, but reflex actions, they are controlled at the level of spinal cord. This is one difference. Another difference is that involuntary actions, they take place in involuntary organs. That means organs which are not under our conscious control. We cannot control the working of stomach or intestine or heart. Okay. Reflex action, it happens in voluntary organs. This is an involuntary actions, but it happens in voluntary organs. Involuntary actions, they are continuous, that is, they are 24/7, but reflex action happens in case of a sudden stimulus. Involuntary action is part of routine activity, and reflex action is a safety measure. So the reflex action happens in any part of the body, so that that particular part can be moved away from the imminent danger. Question 11. Compare and contrast nervous and hormonal mechanisms for control and coordination in animals. The nervous control is fast, but hormonal control is slow. Nervous control, as the name suggests, it is controlled by the nervous system, but hormonal controls, it is controlled by the hormones. Nervous control is limited to certain tissues only, because nerves, they are not reaching every nook and corner of the body, but hormonal control has reached to all the tissues, even where the nerves are unable to reach. Electrical impulses are involved in nervous control, and in case of hormonal control, chemicals are involved. So that is all about difference between nervous control and hormonal control. Question 12. What is the difference between the manner in which movement takes place in a sensitive plant and the movement in our legs? So this diagram, it depicts the leaves of mimosa, that is a sensitive plant, and this is a human leg. So in case of movement in the leaves of mimosa, what happens when you touch the leaves of mimosa? They droop immediately, and this happens because of chemical control. It happens because of loss of water from the cells of the leaves, and that is why the turgor pressure, it reduces in leaves, which results in drooping of leaves. In case of movement in legs, it happens because of contraction and relaxation of muscles, and this is under nervous control. So this is all about difference. That's all for this lesson. Thank you.